Hello, friends, and welcome to Season 11 of the Future Ready Librarians podcast series, Leading from the Library. This is a podcast for all librarians wherever you are in your journey. It is filled with amazing guests, important topics, and engaging conversations that will inspire, engage, and support all of us as future ready librarians. I am your host, Shannon McClintock Miller. I am the district teacher librarian at Van Meter Community School in Van Meter, Iowa, and serve as the Future Ready Librarians Leader. I have the pleasure of working within my library and school community and also with others around the country and world through Future Ready Librarian events, conferences, consulting, writing, and more. I am honored to bring these voices and the work of others to our podcast and to all of you. Well, today, friends, I'm really excited because this is a topic we have never talked about before, and something probably that none of us have even thought about. And so I am very excited to welcome my friend Chrystal onto the Future Ready Librarian podcast. And we're going to talk about how she pre-records her lessons. So I'm really excited about this, Chrystal.
Yes.
I know. So let's just start by having you introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm Chrystal Burkes. I was an elementary librarian for 6 years, and this is my second year in a middle school. So I'm currently fifth, sixth, and seventh, but I also did all these pre-recorded lessons, even down to my kindergartners.
I love it. I can't even wait to hear all about this. And I'm sure that we're going to all want to do this. And so I just want to start by what inspired you to start pre-recording your library lessons?
So it actually started with COVID, and I was going to classrooms with the library card of books and really only had space for 2 kids to be looking on that card at a time. But I was limited, I had a 40-minute session. And so I was like, well, if I record my lessons, the lesson can be going while students 2 at a time are going and checking out their books. And I found that it kind of helps me be in 2 places at once. I'm back there helping them check out books while the lesson's continuing. But then I also was able to help with behavior management. So if there is a little issue or kids are kind of bickering or something's going on, the lesson continues for everyone else. So I can go over there and handle that. So after COVID, I went back into my library and I was like, I'm going to continue doing these lessons this way. And so it's engaging. The kids are honestly, they pay attention better with me on a screen versus in front of them. Unfortunately, we live in those times. So I feel like they get more out of the lesson, and I am in 3 or 4 places at once doing this.
Yeah, I think that's so great. I want you to, as we start talking about this and wrapping our head around pre-recording your lessons, just give us an example. Give us one of your favorite lessons.
Sure. So when I record my lessons, I can make them more engaging too. So an example is during Halloween last year, we learned about how to use Google Maps. And so I read a spooky story and then I showed them on Google Maps by screen share how I went on Google Earth and found those real places on Google Earth. So for my recorded lesson, I dressed up as I was actually dressed up for Halloween anyway. So I recorded it at my home real quick. I had a creepy outfit on. I was like, we're going to learn about Google Maps today. And I had creepy music and the kids were like, what is going on? And then go, wait, I need to change clothes. And then I snap my fingers and I'm in regular clothes. I read the scary book. And then I actually use mostly Canva. I'm a Canva girly. And I can screen record through Canva as well. And so then I screen record how to use Google Maps, how they get on their Google Classrooms and click on my links. And then the kids are free to explore Google Maps on their own. So it's costume, it's sound effects, it's screen recording. We can all see what I'm doing on the screen. And then I'm able to walk around and help kids on their computers while they're watching my directions all together.
Such a great idea. I love that. I mean, we did some things after COVID, we did this like story hour online like at twice a day. So I can't remember what we called that, but it was so fun and we continued that and there were things that good things, right? That like came from the pandemic where we all thought about things a little bit differently. And so this is such a great idea because you're able to, not only teach them these skills that you want them to have, but really engage them in your fun lessons too. So you dress up and you do like fun music and stuff. Any other thing to keep them like engaged and loving
Well,
them?
actually, this week, our library is giving a tour of our library stations, which brings up another point. It's really easy for them to be able to see all the stations up close and directions on the screen instead of all of us cuddling around stations and walking around the room. So another reason why I like pre-recording. But I Rick-rolled them right in the middle of the session, and some of them got it immediately. Some of them I explained what Rick-roll was. But one of our fifth graders said, "We are Rick-rolled in the big 2-5." And I was like, 2025. I know it's an old Rickroll is old, but all our kids know what it is. And I Rickrolled every single one of them. So small things like that, just to kind of keep them on
Funny.
their toes, make it fun. I've done, so like on TikTok or Instagram, sometimes when you're scrolling, it has half the screens like an ASMR slime video while you're watching the content. And so I've done that as well with kind of something a little repetitive. And so they were listening to me on this one side of the screen. The other side was so a hands messing with slime. So so we always try to stay on top of the memes or the things that they're interested in and
Hmm.
make their library lessons, tile that in there, make it fun.
Well, and because you work with middle school too,
Mm-hmm.
you have to keep them engaged and having like, fun when they do that too. So I'm sure that they like really look forward to seeing what you're going to do next.
We had one of my seventh graders said some new brain rot slang word, and I was like, "Ooh, what does that mean?" And another student said, "Don't tell Miss Burke, she'll put it in the next video." And I said, "That is exactly why I want to know what it is, because if it's appropriate, it will be in the next video."
Did you do it?
Oh yeah, girl, you know this.
I
You
love
know.
it. I think that is so fun. Well, and I think about too, like, as you said earlier, like that classroom management piece
Mhm.
and probably how that's really helped, not just with being able to do other things, but also it's probably a really great incentive for them as well, because I'm sure they love that.
Yes. Yeah, it helps me be able to monitor their behavior or like being in the middle school. I'm also the technology coordinator. So if a student comes in with a Chromebook and needs help, I'm able to help them while my lessons still continue as well. But there are times too, like we'll make our lessons come alive. Like the Miss Burkes on the screen will go, "Okay, so these are our biographies. Wave to the Miss Burkes in the room." And I will be like standing back there and I'll wave by their biographies. And they're like, "She's standing by the biographies." And then so we kind of make the lessons like I will talk or the screen will talk to me as well.
That is such a good idea. Do you use them like have now that you've been in the middle school for this is your second year, are you
Mhm.
using ones from last year or are you doing them over?
So I actually we're taking some, like I took our slime, like where we split screen the slime, and I just tagged that onto our new video about our new stations we've added. So I'm finding this year I'm able to take bits and pieces from last year and reuse them. So if I do this Halloween lesson, I could do my scary intro and then it snaps to whatever the new lesson is for this year.
Yeah, which is a great idea because I mean, hey, you might as well use some of that, especially if kids haven't seen them before. Like if you don't have, you use them in different classes. That's like a good thing too.
Yeah, so I do fifth, sixth, and seventh. So each grade level does different lessons. So that way they
Yeah.
won't, they kind of don't repeat for the kiddos. But another good thing is I also post all of our lessons in the kids' Google Classroom. So I always tell them if you miss library, that was a bad day to miss because who wants to miss library? But it's all posted in their Google Classrooms. They can watch the entire lesson.
Yeah, which is great too. I know. And also, like, so you say that you use Canva, and some people might, maybe they use Canva, but they don't know about like the video feature, like how you don't really need a green screen anymore because you can just take the background out and super easy to add things. And
It's very user friendly. So when you go to create a new document or flyer, whatever you're creating, when you go to create new, you can click video, and it has where you can add background music. It's all built in. So when you just search the elements, if I put in calm, it will have music as an option, and I've got some calm music. So I love that the background music's already in there for you. All your elements and everything that you're able to use in Canva already are available. There's templates. So if you go to create a video, there's already templates. I've taken some of them and just plugged in my own information. And then in Canva, you can also record yourself. So sometimes it's my little face in the corner, or I make myself full screen. And then you can also screen record. So I like that all of it is built into Canva. So it's not a lot of
yeah.
recording on other devices and other websites and loading them all in.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing because when you do a project like this or you start it, a lot of times we think like I want to do this, I want to continue, but I don't want it to take like so much time like every day or every week. And so being able to really get good at those, I always like finding a template I love and then I just use it over again because that's sometimes the hardest part, right? Picking all the stuff.
It it is. So, and once you kind of have, I mean, if you kind of click on some of the same templates, you're creating that branding for your library as well. They know what the library lesson's going to look like and start and finish. So I think that's a very cool way to start.
Yeah, I do too. Well, and you have a full-time assistant, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
Yes. And I saw her or met her in a video or something once and that makes a difference too, because then you can have fun together, collaborating on them makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. So we did, actually this year. We kind of did like a little intro just about the library books. We didn't talk about stations and all the things. We just wanted kids to get in here, know how the books were organized, and check one out. And so she joined me, my library assistant. And I said, okay, every time I say the word books, we're going to celebrate. And she had like a soundboard going on her own computer. So she played like bruh, and the kids were laughing. And then
Oh,
I'd say, okay, so let's go look at where the nonfiction books. And she would hit the button and it would say like, lizard, lizard, whatever
yeah.
these memes and stuff that kids love. So it was her and I both on it, which I think is cool too.
Oh, that's so fun. I just love it. I definitely want to think about doing this. And I want to I think it'd be great too for like even our STEM teacher, like to
Mm-hmm.
to have her see. So what advice would you give us if we're wanting to try out pre-recorded lessons for the first time?
I wish start small just so you can start learning all of those different features on Canva or whatever website you choose to use. Maybe think of something that you have to repeat a whole bunch. It's kind of how this started too. Beginning of the year librarians were repeating the same orientation information, how to check books out and check them in. So maybe think of something that you have to say to every class anyways, and maybe start there. And I always tell others to not worry so much about it being perfect.
Yeah.
I will flub up my words or go, oh, I'm it. And I just talk to the kids. I just talk to the camera. And I think the kids like that because it's not so scripted. They don't feel like
Yeah.
I'm being fake. So just start small, find that thing that you're saying and repeating anyways to all the classes, and maybe try making a video for that and try it out.
Great advice. I know, like one thing that I always think is fun and is getting like your kids involved. Have you ever done that in any lessons?
So last year, so we have library aides, and I would of course have them be in my videos and show us how to check the book
Well,
out or how to play the game. And so this year, when they were making schedules, a lot of kids told me they wanted to be a library because they wanted to be in the videos.
I bet they do.
So I said, okay. So yeah, in my video about how to check books in, it's one of our library aides actually doing the motion. So the kids do like to see themselves on the video. We're doing like a big read 15 right now. We're encouraging all of our kids to read 15 books this year, and we've got lots of prizes and incentives. And so the first few kids that were coming in and reading a book, I was like, hey, I'm going to record you spinning the spinner wheel or getting this prize. So they're in our promo video all about read 15. So they have been loving seeing themselves on the big screen while their class is in here learning about it too.
That's so fun. I love it. It's such a good idea. It's like, it just makes, when we're so busy, and also kids love media, right? They love
Mm.
watching something. And so you've like kind of wrapped all the things that, make it easier for you when it comes to navigating like other kids in the library, but also something that they love too.
Well,
Win,
and
girl.
if you want to see some examples of what I've done, I do have a link tree, but it's like link tree, and my username is Chris Burke, so
Okay.
ChrysBurk. I actually uploaded all of last year's lessons. So if you just kind of be
Oh,
like,
perfect.
what is she using this for? There's some
Yes.
examples.
We definitely want to see that. I know. Is that where they can find you on Instagram too?
Yes, Instagram, Blue Sky, I have them all linked on there.
Awesome. Oh,
I do,
you're
and I
amazing.
do want to say, I don't use these lessons to replace me,
No.
but more to give yourself freedom and to be more present with the students
Yes.
while your
Yeah.
lesson's going on. And again, it shows that you're interested in what they're interested in. You want to include that in your lessons too.
I think that's the cool thing. It's like you're tying in again like what they love, and you're making it fun, and I mean, you're dressing up and playing music and doing all the things that they love. I think it's great. I think it's so cool. So keep doing amazing things, my friend. And
Thank you so much for having me.
yeah, we'll have you again because you always have these great ideas. So I love it. But thank
Thank you
you.
so much. And good luck to your first video because I think
Yeah,
you're gonna make some.
yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of people loving it. So thank you, friend. We'll talk
Thank
soon.
you.
As always, thank you to all of our listeners for joining us for this episode of the Future Ready Librarian podcast series, Leading from the Library. And a very special thank you to our sponsors, Follett Content. You make a difference in our libraries, schools, and within our lives, and that of our students every day. We appreciate everything you do. I hope you can take what you learned in today's podcast and put it to use within your practice as a future ready librarian. If I can support you in any way, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or X or Instagram at Shannon M. Miller, or at my email at shannonmcclintockmiller@gmail.com. I am always happy to help and support each and every one of you. Until next time, friends, keep finding ways to lead within and from your library.